We're starting something new on KGET Plus, a community book club. And this month our staff is reading Culpability by Bruce Holsinger. Now, when the Cassidy Shaw's autonomous minivan collides with an oncoming car, 17-year-old Charlie is in the driver's seat with his father Noah riding in the passenger seat. In the back, tweens Alice and Izzy are on their phones, while their mother Lorelei, a world leader in the field of artificial intelligence, is absorbed in her work. Yet each family member harbors a secret implicating them in the tragic accident. So joining us in studio to talk about some of the psychological themes of this book, we have local clinical psychologist Dr. Gonzales. Thank you for coming in.
Good afternoon.
So whether you've read this book or not, I wanted to talk about that idea of survivor's guilt, right? We have a teen driving this car, but the car's driving itself. And no matter who is culpable, who is to blame for this, everybody in the car has that sense of guilt. So can you talk about survivor's guilt?
Yeah, it's a great point, Elena. Survivor's guilt, not everyone that goes through trauma has survivor's guilt, but most people have gone through survivor's guilt have trauma. And whenever there's a trauma, a lot of people are scratching their heads wondering what they could have done differently, part of the collateral damage of trauma. And so it's sort of a persistent, pervasive guilt that impairs people's functioning. They have intrusive thoughts about the accident. They also may avoid certain things or stimuli associated with it. And it really can cause a lot of problems for people. You know, they're blaming themselves for the cause of the trauma. I should have done something different to protect them. Why did I survive and they didn't? So we see this a lot in the military. We see it with cops. And we can also see it in automated stuff. You know, even people in the military, they're doing drones and missiles. They can see on videotape who they're hitting and they're programming it, and it can cause a lot of distress.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that is a theme that's covered in this book as well, those military drones. So there is some research that shows that these computers make less mistakes than humans, but that doesn't take away the guilt of a human. So no matter who's at fault, what do we do if we're feeling that really heavy sense of guilt?
It is heavy. You know, and you're blaming yourself, and some people feel shame. Yeah. Some people feel they're not worthy of the good things in life. They shouldn't have any pleasure or success because of what had happened. So it's really important to try to make this fit. Part of trauma therapy is getting this settled. It's hard to digest psychologically, like some foods are, right? But psychologically, it's hard to make sense of it. So cognitive behavioral therapy, to look at the way we're looking at things, to reconstruct our thoughts, also to try to find meaning from situations, to honor the person that's died, to integrate this, to have some kind of ritual, to find growth from it is important. Being in a support group with other people, to know what norms are. You know, what are the norms? You're not alone. This is how I coped. Going to therapy, dealing with your own creative way expressing this, but having a ritual can really be helpful. You've seen a lot of people come back from war. They may visit the family of their partner. They may do a ritual. This can give meaning to it, help you grieve, and find some kind of growth from it.
I love that, and come out on the other side in a healthy way. So my last question for you, say that, you know, this is an entire family in this book that was involved in this crash, but let's say only one person is seeking that mental health help. Can that help, or does really everybody need professional help?
Well, it depends on, you know, how they're functioning. If they're impaired and it's interfering with their functioning, then they need to get help. But the people around them are really crucial. Yeah. When you see a officer-involved shooting, there's a debriefing afterwards. And if you get the crew involved to help them say, hey, you responded right, I saw what you did, help you make sense of this, help you get settled with this, and help you digest it. So it's always helpful to have other people that are in there. It's like, you know, trauma. When you have someone else in the foxhole with you in military, it helps you versus being in trauma alone. Because you have someone there to help you make sense of it, someone that actually know what you went through and how you respond, and validates you and helps you get settled with it. Getting settled with trauma is the most important thing. Talking and writing are the two best ways of getting settled and digesting the stuff. It's hard to do.
It is hard to do, and so there is help available. Thank you so much for this. I always love your insight, and please read along with us. We'll be sitting down for our discussion next week. Join us on KGT.plus or KGT Plus. I'm so used to saying KGT.com. Thank you, Dr. Corey, for stopping by. We'll be right back.